Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. What's up, everybody?
What's happening?
Good morning.
Took last weekend off. I had a guest in town.
That's right.
Big
Great.
Dave came into town. The plan was to work out, and instead I just showed him monuments and we ate a bunch of food.
Yeah, worked out good. Yeah, that was a good time for sure.
We did the whole DC tourist thing, went to the museums and went to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, if you've never been to the Arlington Cemetery, that was breathtaking.
Yeah, it's a pretty profound experience, especially if you've had family members that have served in the military, and you see just the acres upon acres and acres of tombstones, and that's just a small percentage of the people that have given their lives for this country. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
And then the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, I know it's mostly ceremonial, but it's very impactful. It's kind of the capstone for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, they used to be unknown.
Yeah. I mean, it's symbolic, really. The Tomb of the, I think the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier really represents the entirety of the
Absolutely, yeah,
of the bodies that are buried, the men that are buried there. Yeah,
right. Everything lost in war.
Yeah, it's a pretty profound experience if you've never been there. If you come to DC, it's definitely something you got to do and see the museums and the monuments. It's terrible. I live here. It's like being at the beach and never going to the beach. It's 30 minutes from my house, and I never go see any of this shit, except when I have guests in town. You just take it for granted. I'll go next weekend, but it's right in your backyard, and you forget about it.
Yeah, some training. Paul's getting strong again. That was good to see.
I don't know about stronger, I guess. It's been a slow go getting back into things. I put on a bunch of weight super fucking quick. I think just from putting GH back in, and my blood pressure went through the roof. It was like way too high, and I've had this problem before when I go back on cycles. And then it usually levels out, and Dave's like, why don't you take some hydrochlorothiazide? And I did, and I dropped. See, I blew up to almost 270, from 240 to 270 in about 6 weeks, which is way too much. Way too much. And then he suggested that, and I did just 12.5 milligrams of hydrochlorothiazide, and I dropped 16 pounds in 2 days. So, wow. Yeah, just from 300 tests to 150 primo and 4 units of GH. I know my primo
is real. Sure it was primo?
Yeah, no, I'm 100% sure it's real.
Okay.
It's 2 years old and it was tested.
Gotcha.
So yeah, primo famine.
Right. A great primo famine, right? That hasn't ended.
Yeah, if it came in 2024, then it's probably good. If it came this year, it's might not be. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but an FDA board recommended that testosterone be taken off the scheduled list and become more accessible for TRT.
Good.
Yeah, that's 30 years of idiocy since
medically sound decision.
All because of fucking baseball and the Olympics.
To be fair, baseball sucks. Especially without steroids.
Is that when it happened around that time?
Yeah, it was all because of the Russians kicking our asses in the Olympics initially, and then they further tightened things down when Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire were smashing home run records. Because who does?
Yeah, I was gonna say, when they banned steroids, made them scheduled. It was Operation Equine, and that was just basically during the Bash Brothers era, where it was Jose and Mark McGwire doing crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to see jack dudes hitting home runs? I mean, But
I will point out, I was the stupid kid that thought Mark McGwire wasn't on steroids. I was like, "What? He's got Andrew in his love tree."
Andrew Steen Dione.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was always under the impression that that whole Balco Labs scandal was more about HGH, because it all started with both Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds had an injury that they were trying to heal quickly.
Mm-hmm. Well, Victor Conte, he just passed away, by the way. That dude was a fucking genius. I don't think people appreciate how smart that guy was, but he came up with all these, these different compounds that evade tests. What's that?
That was Patrick Arnold.
That was Victor Conte, right? That ran Balco.
No, Victor ran it, but Patrick Arnold was his chemist. Like, he's the guy that did all the shit.
Oh, yeah, got you.
Yeah. Victor kept getting a lot of credit because he's a good spokesman, and Patrick Arnold has kind of gone to just back to doing chemistry because that's all they ever really wanted anyway.
Yeah, what regardless of that group, they did some.
They changed the world.
They changed the world, and then we got more laws. We know that more laws restricting freedoms are always great for everybody. Because some nerds were upset about somebody hitting more home runs than their favorite baseball player. It's really what it boils down to.
Nobody liked Roger Maris. Come on. His wife didn't even like him.
Yeah, that's really what it boiled down to. But yeah, some good news. It seems like things are loosening up there, and meanwhile tightening up on peptides. I think I don't want to go too much into it politically, but it seems like we're going to see the end of free and accessible peptides here soon. And the writing is on the wall currently about some things I care not to discuss that I've heard. But the free run of GLP-1s on with compounding pharmacies and peptide sites is going to be coming to a close soon, more than likely. So if you're unhappy with that, you might want to let your congressman know.
You also may want to stock up severely.
Yeah, Big Pharma does not like people stealing their shit. And
the great Retta shortage of 2026 is upon you, boys.
Yeah, Big Pharma does not like people stealing their shit and selling it for cheaper. That doesn't go over well. And they generally win. I've seen this before. I mean, we've been through various things of this with pro hormones, and then SARMs, and now it's peptides.
Well, the sad thing I see is it seems like such an overreaction too, because we've had such good headway with some, the BPCs and the healing things, the things that are really just doing nothing but some good for a lot of people, and they, like you say, lump everything into one, and the party's over for all of it.
Well, I don't think they really cared until people started selling their patented shit for cheap. Well, Retta's not even out yet, and people are putting it out. Yeah, Adam brought up Viagra was the one that kind of brought down the research companies around 2005. They didn't give a fuck about people selling AIs and stuff, but when people started selling Viagra boner pills because they were super expensive and still under patent at that time, that did not go over well. So yeah, Ephedrine and Ephedra, yeah, remember that getting banned too. Yeah, that was a bunch of scare.
It's not banned. It's behind the counter. You can go to the pharmacist and say, I need some Bronchate or some Primatene pills. Or they have enough of that as well.
Well, you can't get it in Dexatrim anymore. Or
you can buy it as a
hydroxycut.
I'm having
hydroxycut.
Can't buy 100 milligram Yellow Jacket pills at 7-Eleven.
You're hydroxycut with the Jack 3D.
Yeah,
you're thinking
they
of
still sell those pills.
Josh.
I don't know what's in them, but they still sell them.
What's that, Mike?
I said Josh is thinking of Sudafed. You can still buy Sudafed, but we used to be able to get real like Chinese ephedrine in those like mini, or what was the one?
Mini thins.
Ma Wongs.
Mini thins, yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but no, you can still get ephedrine.
Yeah. 25 milligrams though. Anyway, I don't mess with ephedrine anymore because it blows my blood pressure up. So, but there's so many better options now. But I'll have a video coming out tomorrow. It was interesting with you're talking about GLP-1, some of the initial data from the phase 3 clinical trials of retatrutide are out, and there was a study done on. It's just a little bit of the information, not all of it, but a study done on patients with osteoarthritis in knees with that were obese, and they said it was the largest weight loss ever seen in a clinical trial for a drug ever.
Oh yeah.
72 pounds on average over it's like 62 months, something like that period, a little over a year. Now the doses they were using were crazy. It was 9 milligrams and 12 milligrams in the dosing for the trial.
Wow. So
yeah, that's shit. I can't eat on one, man. How the fuck can you do that?
Well, they titrated it up from 2.
Yeah, I've titrated up from I've been on this all year, so this is like the end.
Yeah, they haven't released the full trial data yet, so you can infer how they did it from the phase 2, but they didn't say exactly. They didn't say exactly what the titration schedule was, but they inferred that there was one. So we don't know yet on that. It was also wild because it was something like 18% of the people saw a complete reversal in osteoarthritic symptoms.
Yeah, your body becomes way less inflamed, and every pound you lose, take 4 pounds of pressure off.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that means retatrutide's not going to be available anymore for you. So right. That's what that means. They're going to fiercely defend that patent and make sure that you can only buy it through farm. Farm. Yeah. No, we don't encourage that, folks. We're just joking about that.
It's too effective.
It's dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
That's what they tell us.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. They're primarily concerned about your health and well-being first and foremost.
Sure.
And these black market peptides are dangerous.
I have my government to keep me safe.
Yes, thank you for keeping me safe and protect the profits of pharmaceutical companies. But yeah, Scott McNally has
earned this one though. To be fair, the retatrutide, they deserve this money.
Well, yeah, I mean, they spent billions of dollars researching this thing.
Whatever they spent,
people are pissed off. I mean, people inside the companies are pissed off. I have a friend that works at Lilly, and they are not happy. I don't blame them. I mean, you spent better part of a decade researching something that's not even out yet, and
they had to design the GIP that makes it last longer than a minute. So they have all kinds of stuff they work.
Yeah. I mean, I understand from having been a business person and running a business and spending a bunch of research and money on it, and then it gets stolen and sold for cheap. That really fucking pisses you off.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, so I'll have a video coming out tomorrow, going into a deep dive on that. If you want to check that out. For anybody who cares about wrestling, John Cena retired last night. He got choked out in his last match. People were upset. It was here in DC, man. I really wanted to go, but I had a wedding and holiday parties to go to. I'm a wrestling nerd. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I'm like a 5-year-old. I fucking love cereal and wrestling. I mean, I can't help myself, man. I don't know. It's like all this stuff that I was deprived of as a child because my parents were fucking broke. Like video games, cereal, and wrestling. These are things that I love, and I want more of. but there he is.
Same reason why I have 150 pairs of shell-toe Adidas.
I know. I buy expensive ass Nike stuff because my dad would get me the hikey shit.
Oh, yeah, right. I wore the same shoes from like 9th grade to senior year.
I remember my fucking feet grew so fast. I went through this huge growth spurt. I remember I went from a size 9 to a size 15 in like a 2-year period of time. And I remember my dad yelling at me about having to buy me new shoes.
Oh man, size 15s, never find those anywhere, man. I had friends with those. Jeez, I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
Nikes, man. Nike's about the only. That's why I only wear Nikes. But yeah, it's funny. I laugh at dudes saying that I have acromegaly from GH, and I'm like, no, bro. I was like this before. I remember having to trip special order triple XL motorcycle helmets when I was riding motorcycles before I'd ever fucking touched GH.
Yeah. I do want to see how big your head is because I have a giant head, and I wonder if it's the same size as yours.
I would be shocked if your head is bigger than mine, but I have a very impressive melon. Amy's seen it in person.
Fun fact referring back to the Balco Labs thing. If you look at an old Barry Bonds card, his rookie card had his hat size and his foot size 2 sizes smaller than the last year that he played. Here's an example of that to
You know what's hilarious is like you look back on, you know, it's like you think about I gotta pull this picture up. This is hilarious. Like everybody was like, this guy's jacked up on steroids, and you look at him now and you're like, really? People, what? This guy? Look at him. We would laugh in the bodybuilding community. I mean,
well, hang on. The second one looks okay, but the first one, he's clearly not lifting weights.
I will say this: he has some impressive gains in his midsection, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure he had no problem finding dates.
I'm a little concerned that your eyes were drawn there, but yeah.
I mean, how could you not be? Oh man, but yeah, I'm a child inside. There.
How do you find these pictures of these guys?
It's called doing homework. That was the very first thing that popped up when I Google searched. Barry Bonds.
I mean, it should be the first thing that pops up, but you know, I've never seen it before.
It's like dudes fluffing up for check-in pics. I wonder if Barry fluffed up for his.
Well, go back. I need to look at his penis now. Come on.
Or a better question: did he have a fluffer?
Does he probably had a fluffer? Yeah.
I know Justin and I were talking about it the other week, but the dudes fluffing up for their check-in pics, it's always fucking hilarious. I'm like, you're not going to impress me, bro.
Really? That's a thing, huh?
You never know.
You just gave all your clients a challenge, didn't you? Everybody needs to pre-fluff before Paul's check-in pics.
There are some dudes that clearly do.
I haven't noticed that on my end, but I've heard of it.
Well, they might just be very narcissistic because, you know, if you look good naked, you know, I mean, that's going to happen.
Well, you don't want your coach thinking you have a small wiener.
Yeah.
The amount I get so many guys reaching out to me on it runs in spurts. I don't know. I'll just joke about GH growing your junk, and then I'll get like fucking 20 DMs like, bro, how can you do that?
How much GH, right?
How much GH? What do I have to do? What's your protocol? I'm like, it was a joke,
like,
man.
Right, inject it into the shaft? Is that how I do it?
Just, right into it.
I'm like, there are surgical interventions, my friend, but I think most of it's just what God gave you.
Vigorous Steve has a protocol for that.
Oh, the bathroom thing. Yeah, he's supposed to do a video of it. Yeah.
Steve has a protocol for everything. I need to get Steve on again.
Have any of you ever used any of these injectable erection medications? Trimix?
No. I've heard it's crazy.
Yeah, do not recommend.
Just from experience or what?
Yeah. You can slam it in the door 8 times. It ain't going down, and it's not.
Yeah, I heard you can cut diamonds with it.
Yeah, you cut diamonds with it. 8 hours later, you're still cutting diamonds with it. You've killed the poor girl. She's laying in bed.
Talk through the driveway.
Talking about Steve, I've been watching his live streams lately. He's been cracking me up. He just doesn't give a fuck right now, man. I love it, man. There was some dude on there yesterday that said something about him sweating, and he's like, "Yeah, I was sweating a lot when I was banging your mom."
Yeah.
And they just went on straight to the next question.
Oh my gosh. I know he probably won't come to the Arnold because, of course, they just had a baby. But man, I would love.
I think he is this year.
Coming to the Arnold. I told him I was coming, and he's in. So boom,
yeah.
Would love
I think
to
he is
see
this
him.
year.
Oh yeah, he's coming.
He is just one of my favorite people.
Yeah, Steve's hilarious. He definitely has an aura about him.
Drink root beer.
Yeah, Nationals was yesterday. Last big pro qualifier of the year, and I love a good fat guy redemption story, man. I'm just, I'm a former fat guy myself, and I love seeing fat dudes that get themselves in shape. And the dude that won the overall, I mean, just amazing, man. I have to pull him up. But Devon Barnes, I don't know you, man, but kudos to you for kicking ass, dude. If you hear this, just amazing, crazy. I gotta show this.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it before, but the after's amazing.
Yeah, this is it, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what a crazy 334 pounds started off.
I mean, he
clearly
carried
had
well,
some muscle.
to be fair, like, yeah, he carried that 300 well.
People were knocking him for some loose skin on his stomach, but I'm like, come on, man, give the guy a fucking break, man.
Tell somebody to eat shit.
You can knock him all he wants. He's still got a pro card.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the loose skin. He can get that fixed.
Yeah,
he looks fantastic.
Yeah, you can get out of here.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
He had some quads on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was laughing.
He had to be a lifter before, right?
Let me pull this.
I mean, if he was just natural like that, good for him. But yeah, even better now.
I'm sure he was lifting weights and probably just like perma bulker. I mean, you can see the loose skin on his stomach.
Yeah, he's good though. Yeah, but I mean, his ab muscles tend to distract you from it.
You can see it. I had the same thing going on. That's why I got the mini tummy tuck. That was probably about the way mine was.
He's got a great shape though. He could really
seriously.
Go.
Yeah, no, I mean,
his glutes, like, they're so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like those insertions on his glutes are.
I think I read he said that he was going to do classic as a pro because he fits in the classic cap.
Yeah.
Doesn't
everybody kind of do classic until they're too big? If they have that potential, like John.
He looks like a bodybuilder to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
he will be for sure. For sure.
I know my good friend Scott Miz will disagree with me, but I think your class kind of finds you sometimes.
Yeah, very true.
Let me know when they have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle class. I'm all in.
Scott, if you're listening, I love you, man, but I do think your class kind of finds you sometimes.
I think that guy looked great, though. I mean, so what do you expect? You're going to have a little loose skin,
Yeah, fantastic work, dude, man. Just kudos to you, man. What an amazing accomplishment. I mean, just to go down. I mean, I don't know how much weight. I think he lost 100 pounds.
250 is what his stage weight was, right? 250 stage weight?
Was it 250? I don't know what it was.
Something like that. I don't know. Either 80 to 100 something pounds. So bravo, my friend.
If his stage weight was 250, there's no way he's doing classic.
No. I don't think it was 250. I think it was like 220 something.
Okay. But I mean, I don't see him staying in classic very long if he's got that kind of potential to grow muscle.
Let me see if I can find the results from the show and see what class he was in.
Deficit?
Classic cap is 240.
He was open super heavyweight.
Oh, he was a super. Okay, all right then. No, he's not a classic guy then.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's class down.
Classic.
Yeah, I saw somebody saying something about him doing classic. Well, that's not happening.
No, super heavy.
Yeah.
Wow, he looks incredible.
Yeah, he looks great. He kind of looks like Tony O'Burton to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he's got a good shape. Like Amy said, those super long glutes and the insertions on his quads. I mean, he could go.
He doesn't have a worn out waist either, or at least his legs are big enough. It doesn't look like his waist is too big.
I saw Sean Clarita competed in the China Pro, and won that. Sean's been on the world tour lately.
Yeah.
I saw him make a nice post about being an ambassador for bodybuilding and wanting to see the world. I thought it was really nice. Just he just seems like a good guy. I've never really, I mean, I briefly met him in passing, but I've never really sat down and talked to him. He just seems like just a solid human being.
Yeah, I met him at the Arnold last year. He was a super nice guy. And I'm a huge fan of his physique. I mean, he's tiny, but the shape is just incredible.
Oh my God. muscle per square inch. That dude's there aren't many people on the planet that are bigger than that guy.
No.
Well, just about every facet. His conditioning is top notch. He's hard as a rock when he's up there. He's really got no gaps other than his overall size.
I know he was 195 at the Olympia. I wonder if John's been able to put any more size on him for these other competitions.
Not sure, but I know he's been looking a little bit fresher since he's been working with John.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah, I remember listening to one of John's videos talking about Sean, and a big thing for him was actually dialing things back, like incorporating more steps rather than a ton of cardio, all these things. Like Sean seems to be a very hardcore in many senses of the things, goes hard on his cardio, diets real hard. Some of these things he had to learn how to dial them back. It was weird for him. It felt like he wasn't working as hard, but it obviously showed on the stage that he had a fresher look and had great pop, wasn't flat, which was kind of a few issues he had on the last when he was working with Jansen, kind of lost his pop.
John's so smart, man. He has an incredibly intelligent approach towards contest prep and bodybuilding. And I think a lot of times, like you hit the nail on the head, Dave, like a lot of really high end guys, you almost need to save them from their own work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the guys that really, really want it bad sometimes will go too hard. Mm-hmm. I've been there myself, man. I've been there where I just dug myself into a fucking hole. And I have definitely learned that there are a couple of different kind of guys that you prep. I mean, there's the guy you got to be up their ass all the time, the ones that think that they aren't lean enough, and then the other guys that will just drive themselves into the dirt. And you have to pull them back. I'd much rather have the guy that I have to pull back than the guy I got to push. It's easier to pull somebody back.
Yeah, same. For sure.
I
think you get into these habits of like what worked for me last time. He might have had a few preps where he really dug in hard, and you think that.
Well, he's older too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just weird seeing preps come together a little bit smoother sometimes. I get it. You might feel like, hey, I'm not doing enough, or is this all going to work out at the end? There can be a little bit of a mental trickery.
Yeah, I mean, it's he's in his 40s. When you pass 40, man, you just can't go as hard as you can when you were younger. I mean, when I was in my 20s, dude, I would go out all night, sleep 4 hours. I worked at the gym. I worked at the gym. I literally, man, I did this all the time. I would go out, fucking drink and party all night long, go to the gym because I had to open the gym at 5 a.m. I would sleep in the tanning bed. I would lay in the cold ass tanning bed for 3 hours and then get up at 5 and open the gym up. And then I'd lift weights during the day, probably go play basketball in the evening and do that shit every day in and out. And my diet was ramen noodles and canned tuna.
I diet ramen noodles and canned tuna.
I would die if I tried to do that now.
Right.
Jaeger bombs and tuna and ramen noodles. Yep, that was my diet.
Sean, when you see that call out when they have the top 5 on stage at the end of that show, like he was outsized by literally everybody around him. I mean, there was some big guys on that stage, and Sean still managed to win it with just shape and symmetry and conditioning. It's really, really remarkable showing.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you guys think about him being able to do 212 and open? Do you think the Olympia should allow him to do that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, be a lot of fun from our side.
Sure.
Going to watch that.
Right.
Yeah, it's always cool. It's like, what was the Detroit Pro that did this classic and the bodybuilder guys stand next to each other, and
the King of Detroit.
That was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a newbie bodybuilder fan. That was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand what's the disadvantage for the IFBB to let him do that. I mean, maybe they're afraid that they'll have a lot of people doing that, qualifying in multiple, classes.
I
or
mean,
whatnot.
awesome if they could, though, right? I mean, it's not as easy as you would think to qualify at the Olympia level in multiple classes. Now, at a local NPC show, you could win bikini, figure, and fit model all at the same show, but that's not necessarily the case at a pro show.
Right.
Does
I mean,
do you have rules around that or multiple classes?
I don't
just
know.
don't know that anybody's ever done it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's not allowed. I think the first time when he won the Legion as an open competitor, I don't think they allowed him to compete. I think they made that public. They weren't going to allow that. I'm pretty sure
it's one or the other then.
Yeah. Which again makes no sense. It'd be a lot of fun to see where he stacks in the open and then go do the 212, and then you can kind of theorize where some of the other 212 guys would have stacked up right there in the open as well, with direct comparisons with Sean as well. And I see it as nothing but a fun scenario for sure.
We saw Keon out there in the open recently, and you definitely realize the open guys are a little bigger when you put him as big as Keon looks.
Isn't Keon like 5'3" though, or something like that?
Yeah, 5'3", 5'4".
Sure.
Yeah, I mean he's like the perfect size for what he's at, but I mean I think he could get bigger, but he might not look as good.
But did you see Dorian
here in a Google synopsis of the rules? With AI synopsis of the rules, it says that athletes can enter multiple classes crossovers if they meet specific criteria, getting more stage time for a higher fee. But all categories must have at least 3 competitors or they'll be combined. That's what Google had to say about it.
That sounds like they're talking in NPC terms. Is that
no? I specifically searched IFBB Pro.
Oh, okay. I don't think we've ever seen that either, though. Them having short classes and combining them in the pros.
I've never seen that either. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they probably also don't want to water down the classes. They want to get as many competitors in as they can.
Sure.
That might be a part of it too. So just pick one or the other. Did you see Dorian talking about the short guys winning in the open? So they look like refrigerators.
Yeah, that was hysterical.
He's like, if you ask the average person on the street if a 5'3", 250-pound guy has the ideal male physique, would they say yes? He's been on a roll lately.
Oh gosh, he says some of the funniest things.
And he's getting chippy.
Yeah, he's been getting chippy lately. I love it. He seems to be coming out of hiding. Maybe he's smoking a little less weed now. He's got a little bit of his edge. Maybe back on some TRT or something.
Yeah.
Doing a little less yoga. He's definitely been salty lately. I love that. It's funny.
You guys want to talk about the Arnold released the list of competitors?
Oh, how could I forget that, Amy?
Yeah.
I know. I'm dying to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I
was so excited to see Wesley on the classic lineup. Yeah, he's been bulking pretty hard, and his last, but some of the last stuff he's released is older footage. It's from like around the Olympia timeframe, and man, he went hard on this bulk. Like I kind of love it. So I'm like, man, he only has 12 weeks to, he does have to make weight. So I'm excited to see how he looks when he cuts down.
Well, he always stays lean. He probably needed to bulk up a little bit.
Yeah, no, he kind of went bear mode on this bulk. Like he got Wesley fluffy in a good way. I mean, like, yeah. And he had a hernia surgery and like a couple other things happened, but I'm really excited. I wasn't sure if he was gonna go for it this year, so super excited.
Poor guy last year got sick before the show. That was just
God, that was brutal.
Terrible timing. I can't believe he went through it with a stomach bug.
Oh.
He had to be rolled through the airport in a wheelchair. He was so sick.
Yeah, it's going to be him.
That Menengate kid is pretty good. I think Jackie pointed out he was probably the only one in the top 15 in the Olympia.
Isn't Visters out?
What, the Olympia?
For the Arnold?
No, he's on it.
This is the official list.
This is the official list.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Sulik is going to jump in.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. He hasn't competed since he won his pro card at the Arnold last year.
Yeah.
It'll be cool to see him step up his game, see if his his posing's improved, which was one thing they wanted to, that stood out with Sam and just some general size. He had some room and now as a pro to grow.
I still think he's an open guy ultimately if he wants to be competitive at it. But we'll see. We'll see how he looks.
He'll get there. Yeah, I was gonna say he'll get there. He's got years.
We'll see how he looks. And then
he's still coached pretty much, right?
I don't know. I don't know if he's working with somebody or not.
As far as I know, it's just him and his brother Mark.
Mm.
Obviously has the money to hire anyone he wants.
And next on the open.
Yeah.
Self-coached. Should be interesting.
He looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he stayed really lean.
To see Brandon too. I mean, I thought Brandon looked great last Arnold, and then same thing in the Olympia.
Even better at the Olympia.
Yeah, and I think it was in the Olympia in the placings. I believe it was Nick then Brandon. So I'm kind of curious to see if he's able to close that gap a little bit. I still got a lot of faith in Brandon Curry. I think he's
if Samson would have placed where he belonged, and Brandon Curry would have been top 5.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be. Let's see, we got Andrew Jacked, Nick, Martin. There's 3 right there. Hottie 4. That's 4, and then I mean Tonio. I don't know. Tonio's tough, man. Yeah. Tonio's got a great physique.
Would it be fair to say Hottie's probably the front runner, Hottie, and then maybe Andrew?
I would say Martin coming off his recent win.
Yeah, Martin's looking so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't get to see Martin and Hottie next to each other at the Olympia. So it'll be interesting, I think, for sure. That I mean, to me, he would absolutely be in that top 3, I think, based on.
But I wouldn't count Nick out, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one. It really comes down to who's going to peak quite well. Nick blows it. I mean, he's right out of the top 4.
It's also interesting that you have Derek and Samson missing in this lineup, which is, to have them not be a factor, it just mixes things up quite a bit.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I think Samson was wise to take some time off. Clearly, needs to
put some weight back on
last year.
Be hard to pass up that money, though. Jesus.
Yeah.
What does 5th place get?
I don't think he would get 5th. He'd probably be top 3. I would guess, but I mean, if he comes in top form, I mean, he could win.
Well, right, but how many times did he come in top form in his career? Once.
He won the Arnold, 2 years ago? Yeah, he looked great there. So
who's that you're talking?
Samson, right?
Samson. Yeah, because he didn't win. He won the Arnold US and UK 2 years ago. Right, back to back, and then won the Olympia.
Yeah,
was that? Yeah,
yeah. And when he won the Arnold, he just beat out Nick. Nick was defending, I think, his Arnold run.
Yeah. So, top first place is $750,000 this year. Holy shit! Wow. Second is $250,000. Third is $150,000. That would be hard to walk away from. Man, the Olympia's going to up their ante again.
I can only imagine that Samson looks at it like, at this point, his goal's got to be just to get back at the top at the Olympia, and if that means staying off season and just really getting some time to freshen up the body, add the tissue he needs, make it easier to get lean for the Olympia, I think it's probably smart in the long run.
Probably, but man, I'd be tempted to take a crack at that money.
Sure, but he's been one of the highest winning, prize money bodybuilders in the past few years. I think he's won the most. He won $1 million in a year, I believe, right? When he won the Arnold and then
right. I mean, he's not
the Olympia.
Probably spent all that on his personal gym he built.
Yeah. But one other thing I was going to mention, I think that it's pretty obvious that Nick had to jump in the Arnold. I mean, that's probably the best case scenario for him to just, kind of clear his name again. You know, he performs well there. He can shake off a lot of, or wins there. He could shake off his
I don't
appearance at the
understand
Olympia.
why people are so fucking hard on him. People seem to go hard after him. He's like, I've talked to him many times. He's like the nicest guy ever. He's just a hard worker, keeps his head down. He doesn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
He's a bro's bro. I mean, I don't know why people hate on him so much. It's bizarre to me.
When you see somebody working hard, you get angry at yourself for being weak, and then you just pick on them.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he just puts his head down and fucking works. He doesn't talk shit about anybody.
Yeah. Well, I think his confidence comes off cocky to some people. You know, I kind of caught that when I first started following him. I thought he was more on the cocky side. And then the more I start to follow him, I realize he's just very confident in himself. He's not afraid to bet on himself. And maybe that throws people through a loop too.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I love the dude. He's one of my favorites. I really, really root for him. I hope he comes out and shows well. I just like guys that put their head down, mind their own business, and do the work.
Yeah.
Those are usually my favorite. That's why I always love Dorian. I don't train really like Dorian or do that style of training anymore, but I always admired Dorian's work ethic and his, not take no prisoners attitude. That's why he was my favorite bodybuilder of all time. And he's a thinking man's bodybuilder too. So,
and he kept to himself.
He kept to himself. He just fucking kept his head down. Didn't care about all the bullshit or the drama or partying or getting mixed up in any of that shit, and just did the work. I like, blue collar bodybuilding, Dave. Just put your head down and do the work.
Right. That's right. What do you think if Nick doesn't perform well though? I mean, you think people are going to start saying?
Oh, people are going to say you should have a coach. That's people are going to go start.
No, you got to say he has to fire his coach now.
Yeah,
fire coach. Change coaches again.
People will be coming out of the woodwork to say, "See, I told you."
He should just hire me as his coach. I'll take all the credit or blame. And the money. Over the money.
I mean, honestly, with an off season, like you guys know, I mean, you don't need a lot of guidance in the off season.
No,
it's pretty simple. Contest prep is where things get hairy. Now, I think sometimes you do need a second set of eyes just to keep yourself sane, because I know me personally, I make bad decisions sometimes. I always think I'm fat. And I want to diet, and some people are the opposite. They don't think they're big enough, and they get too fat. But really, like, not much. Once you get locked into an off season, not a whole lot changes. It's just Groundhog Day. You get your macros locked in, you figure out what gear you tolerate and works well for you, and you just hit the gym and work hard. There's little changes and adjustments that you make, sure. But the main thing with the off season is just being consistent.
Yeah, I was just going to say, staying in routine. Yeah.
I do have to talk some guys. I was having a talk with one of my clients yesterday. He's having a great fucking off season, and he's getting hard on himself. I do have to have that talk with people every once in a while to keep them on track. I'm like, yeah, it's boring. It's monotonous. You're tired. Eating food. I don't know if everybody feels this way, but I really get tired of fucking eating food. It really I just you feel lethargic. You feel bloated. You
can't
tired
breathe
all the fucking time. You can't breathe. Yeah. Sleep sucks. It's like you're tired, but you can't sleep. Right?
Yeah. I'm on a high day right now, so I'm feeling every word you just said.
Coaches need coaches. So who said that? Yeah, you're right,
Tanya.
man.
Yep.
Tanya, yeah. Oh my God, I'm
paralysis by analysis.
I am the worst person to coach myself. I will fuck up for sure.
Yeah, I agree with what Josh said too. That it's a good idea to start in an off season so a coach can learn you before the stakes are high.
Sure. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I get guys all the time. I'm like, should I wait until contest prep to get with you? And I'm like, no. Let's get started now. I need to figure out your metabolism.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how you respond to certain things, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We need
also
to keep it.
Also, I was going to say, just working out the kinks. You want to. I don't want to just assume that you got the training intensity we're looking for. You're going to be able to comprehend the program that we put together for you or whatnot. all those little things just make a smoother prep. So
well, it builds trust too.
Yeah,
I think especially with some of these, higher pros, they've been coached a lot potentially and have had maybe like their own kind of bodybuilding lore in their head about what works for them. And if they don't really trust their coach, they might not be following the plan. Even, this is a great example of this was with, oh my gosh, why is his name escaping me? He lived here for a long, long time. Justin coached him this year. He's an old bodybuilder. He said Paul was his motivation for coming back this year.
Oh, Skip.
He didn't trust Justin's plan. Like he said that when he did that video, like he really didn't trust what Justin was doing, but he followed it anyway. But did he, it's like, oh gosh, like that's a horrible way to go into a peak, especially like in your mind thinking like, I don't trust this guy. Like this has never worked for me before. Like I shouldn't be doing it this way. Like, of course it's not going to work. Like, I think it takes some time to kind of, to build that with your coach. Like you have to trust them or don't hire them.
Yeah. If you're thinking that before the prep, how do you think you're going to feel 4 weeks out if you got same if you haven't built that trust?
I've sort of changed my approach with the more advanced guys, like the guys that are very knowledgeable and advanced. I work more now, like it's more collaborative. Like I give them feedback. Like if I think you're making a mistake, I'm going to let you know, but we work together and come up with a plan. And a lot of times I'm just nudging the wheel one way or another. That's kind of been I'm a second set of eyes. I'm a consultant and somebody to bounce ideas off, but I let them take the wheel more. The guys that have been with me for a while, the ones that I trust, the ones that I are more advanced and knowledgeable, I'll get a little more authoritative with it towards the end of prep, but I look at it as more of a collaboration. Now, newbies, I just tell them fucking listen, just listen.
Yeah. Even for me on this, working with a new coach on this prep this year, there were things that like I knew about myself that he didn't know. Like my whole epiphany about doing the stairs, I was telling him the cardio I was doing the amount he told me to do, but it wasn't until I said to him like, wow, I think I made a mistake. I think I should have been doing the stairs this whole time, switched to the stairs and things started really changing. He didn't know that, so if I hadn't said that or brought that up, I agree, Paul. It does kind of, when you have somebody who's more advanced, like you have to take some of what they say very seriously because they do know some things, especially if it starts working.
The stairs are Satan's cardio.
Oh, they're for me, they are the way.
Nope. No stairs for this guy.
Well, I know this, I've been with Paul now through 3 cutting and bulking cycles. And I think every time we go through a cut, it gets better every time.
Yeah. It does get easier. I know your body a little bit better. You know what to expect. It's not, there's the unknown is not there as much.
Yeah. Well, it's like you and me, Paul, as well. I never miss a check-in, whether I kind of feel I need to check in or not, but it's just more of that routine. And also as a coach myself, just having someone else have a set of eyes and confirm things. And,
Speaking of that, I need to start checking in with Justin again. I haven't checked in a year. I'm still paying him. I was kind of like, do I really want to do this shit anymore?
It always amazes me when people are like super late or drag their feet to do their check-ins. I'm like, forever, Jackie and I were always excited to send in our check-ins, see what's going on. Is there changes?
I was excited for like 8 years, and then it's like after I won my pro card, I was just kind of like, it's like you let all the air out of the balloon. It's just like,
well, I think the shoulder injury did that for you.
Yeah, that definitely took the steam out of things. I am having fun training again, though. It is nice going into the gym, and like each time I go on in, I'm adding a little more weight, and things are feeling a little better. Although my dog tweaked my arm the other day, he like took off after another fucking dog, and I'm like, oh, fuck, did I hurt it? I felt a little twinge in my shoulder. But yeah,
careful. That's how it happens.
Yeah, my 200-pound dog.
Yeah, you might want to look into smaller dogs.
Yeah,
I'm committed at this point. All right, we want to get some questions.
Let's go.
Yes,
I got a busy afternoon. I need to watch the Commanders lose, and then I'm headed to another holiday party.
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have 16 starred. I have a bunch, so we'll start at the
top. Let's go rapid fire.
Okay, here we go. From Ben, difference between Winstrol oil and suspension. What do you prefer?
Suspension is going to have more risk of infection. So yeah, there's that. I can't tell you how many people I've heard of getting abscesses from Winstrol suspension. I would, if it were the end of contest prep, I would just, the only time you're really going to want to run Winstrol is at the end of contest prep anyway. The last few weeks, just to get that sharpness on stage, I would just run with oral Winstrol so you don't have any risk of lumps. Or I really have been thinking about it. Like for my next show, I think I am only going to run orals the last 2 weeks. I'm not even going to run any NFR. I think I'm just going to save my liver and then go hard on the Winstrol the last 2 weeks and just run oral Winstrol. I don't know. I don't know that there's any compelling reason to use injectable Winstrol unless you have a stomach issue where you get ulcers or acid reflux like Roman talked about having. I would just save it for the end and run an oral Winstrol. But I've had guys like there's been some curiosity, maybe because of the shortage of steroids lately. Guys asking me about more obscure stuff, DHB, Mint, Winstrol. Like I've had guys wanting to run Winstrol in their off season. I'm like, why the fuck would you want to do that, man? It's the absolute worst choice, man. It's lower synovial fluid production and it reduces collagen synthesis, all these negative things that are going to make your training worse. And, those make you look good at the end of a prep, but you definitely don't. Anybody who's done Winstrol at the end of prep, you do not fucking feel good on Winstrol. No. So, yeah, I would ask, A, why are you using Winstrol? And B, what's the compelling reason to use an injectable over the oral? At the end, it's still methylated, so you're not really.
it's designed to be taken orally.
Very true.
Yeah, I mean it's still methylated, so it's still liver toxic.
Oh yeah, you're taking them. Yeah, Steve says don't bother with injectable Winstrol because it hurts like a mother. So.
It does. It's the most painful thing I've ever injected.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, and I have heard countless horror stories of guys getting abscesses from it. Jay Cutler talked about
oral. We prefer oral.
Oh, that's how we say it from Appalachia, where I grew up. Let my southern accent stick out.
Yeah, I used oil-based Winstrol this prep for a little bit, and I went right to the oral instead of the oil.
That's fair.
Oh, that's how we say it down south.
Oh,
OWL, like an owl. Oh,
go her.
All right, what do we got next?
All right, next one from Lewis. Do you titrate your test dosage down after ending an EQ cycle, given the half-life of EQ?
I mean, that would make sense.
That makes logical sense. I think people do way too much EQ based on like the results from these guys and yourself from EQ.
What I do with EQ is I will drop it like 3 to 4 weeks before I cut my test dose down. Okay. That's how I do it.
All right.
Although I don't really run EQ anymore. Although I might not have a choice with the shortage of things. We're gonna have like fucking 3 steroids left we can take here soon.
We're gonna be on estrogen cream and EQ, and that's gonna be
it's gonna be the good old days where it's test EQ and DECA with some D-ball. Yeah, that's where we're headed right now.
We always get the veterinary drugs. Tren and EQ are safe.
Tren and EQ, yes.
Tanya's here for the non-Appalachian dialect. All right, ready for the next one? We kind of covered this one.
I fought hard to get rid of that southern accent. It still slips out now and then. I go back home and I hear my parents talking, and I'm like, damn, and my siblings, and I'm like, damn, did I sound like that?
My his whole family's from North Carolina, and I grew up in California, but I grew up around them. So people have asked me, "Are you from the South?" I'm like, "No, I just say things like my parents used to say."
I still slip stuff out, but I've lived in Washington D.C. for more than 2 decades now, so So I've mostly muted it. And although I used to turn it up when I would go into business meetings once in a while, because you make people think you're a dummy. Play the turtle shell game.
Well, my dad's like 76 now, and he still can't say oil.
Oh.
You saying oil? What problem? No problem.
Oh. All right. What do we got next?
Next one, we kind of covered this from Tina. She's asking if she's heard the rumor that all injectable peptides are going away from Roe Labs. I'm shocked that Roe is able to promote the use of peptides the way they are.
I don't know what that is.
So, it used to be called something else.
We got to be careful talking about brands on here too.
Yeah. It's a big online company. Like they do a lot of men's health enhancement and hair loss and all those kinds of things.
I would imagine they're going to get the hammer thrown on them. So yeah, it's coming.
Oh, she meant research only, but I thought she meant the actual company.
Research only labs. Yeah, no, I think that that is coming to an end very soon. Yeah. And then it's just going to be straight from China as well. People just go. The gray market will die. The black market will still be there.
Yeah, the fire rises.
Which is how it usually works. Anyway, what's up next?
From Larry, wondering if any of you have any experience with the newbie. After years of wanting to try it, there's finally a PT in my area that has one, and I started sessions about 4 weeks ago. So far, I've done 3 sessions for my quad and 1 for my lats. I definitely feel the muscle working more efficiently and getting way more soreness from my regular training sessions. What do you guys think of the newbie?
I don't know anything about it.
It's like a TENS. It's like a TENS unit that they attach to you, and you lift with it on. A lot of bikini competitors use them for their glutes.
I've seen people use this in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. No clue.
Now, does it make more sense using that for people that are coming back from injury? Is that, or having a tough?
I think that's what it's designed for. I am aware of it.
Started. Yeah.
From
we need to get Dr. Marv on the show sometime. Yeah, I know Marv does this stuff. We need him for questions like this.
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically, if you're feeling the muscle more, I think it's great for teaching people to feel the muscle firing, especially for like if you do have like a lazy kind of body part. Sure. Do I think it's something you need to continue doing for like months and months and months? No, I think like Larry did, like do a few sessions, like really learn how to contract those muscles. And then you should be able to, I would think, I mean, at least from my experience, working with like a TENS unit from injury, like you teach that sensation and then you're able to replicate it. I mean, I don't see a downside to it aside from it being, expensive potentially, but it's not going to hurt anything.
I'm trying to be more active with my recovery stuff. I've been terrible about fucking doing it. I've been making an effort. I've been doing the dry needling with electrostim and massage and physical therapy. And Marv has helped. Dr. Marv, if you guys have an injury, he's a fucking miracle worker. Dr. Danny is also great too.
Yeah.
Those are 2 people I would highly recommend. But yeah, I'm the guy that would just keep going to the gym, and my way of dealing with injuries is just ignore them. So I'm the worst person to ask about injury recovery.
Well, I think you make a good point though, Amy, for like bodybuilding purposes. Why waste months trying to learn to connect to a difficult back muscle or a certain motion that you're just not getting the results out of? If this teaches you kind of almost hands-on approach, teaches you how to contract that muscle, you could eliminate wasting a lot of time, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And doing it in a safe manner, not having, you're not going to be lifting very heavy from what I've seen with these things, or in a dangerous, you're not going to be doing it on a squat. You're probably going to be doing it on a safe, smart motion.
Bikini girls do them on squats, but again, with the weight, all things considered, there's a gym. I went to a seminar there that's like an hour or so south of me. They're one of the ones that has like big teams at, all the local shows, but they have one. And I've considered, just doing a session, mostly just to kind of see, like, do I see a benefit? Like just to kind of, like you said, Dave, to kind of level up your training a little bit,
sure.
Kind of skip some steps and like getting some like additional muscle recruitment, or just learning how to get better muscle recruitment.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I've wondered that same thing, Tanya, if you could do the same thing with a home TENS unit. Cause like I have one, I'm like, do I just hook up the TENS unit and go to the gym with it on? Like, I mean, mine is tiny. No one would ever see the little, it's like the size of an old school pager. Like I could totally do that.
I will tell you, having done the dry needling with electrostim that the TENS unit does not hit that deep tissue like it is not the same. The dry needling with electrostim is on another level.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, the newbie gives feedback. I think that's part of the difference too. Like they can actually show you on the newbie, like the difference between like maybe where you do your first set and like where you do your last set. Like
cool.
in the
that's
so you
cool.
actually do get biometric feedback from it.
Technology's cool.
They should. I think they're like $20,000 machines.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're not cheap at all.
I mean, it's kind of cheap for medical equipment.
Sure, but it's probably the most expensive thing in your gym.
Aside from the InBody.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've got like infrared scans and we've got like cooling beds. We got all kinds of weird stuff. I don't know what any of it's for.
Oh god, don't get me started on the InBody. Every time anybody sends me an InBody report, I'm like, dude, just fucking throw that thing in the trash.
I do the same.
I don't want that shit.
I did one right after a DEXA, just after out of curiosity. And after the DEXA said I was 9% body fat, the InBody told me I was 18. So those are
yeah, I get it's funny how off it reads. I get it, like I did it when I was like right out from my show, and yeah, the same thing. It said I was 18. And then I get these fat dudes that send me their InBody scans and they're at 6, or they're like, man, I'm leaner than I thought I was. I'm like, bro, come on. You look in the mirror.
You're not 10% body.
Now I kind of want to do one to see if I get a good result. Now I was like, oh, my InBody says only 18. Hello.
I mean, you can literally drink a glass of water and take a shit, and it'll change it by 5%.
Yeah, or I do that
too.
Try giving that to the judges at the show.
Right? My InBody said I was 6%. I should have won.
But instead of spending $20,000 on this newbie machine, you can just learn to meditate a little bit and before you go in the gym, and try to envision every muscle group that you're going to train that day and the fibers moving in your mind, and a visual exercise, and then go in there and just be mindful of how you're moving the weight through the air and how that affects the muscle fibers as they're going. It's kind of a yoga approach to lifting, but if you're having trouble with that mind muscle connection, that's how I finally figured it out.
Yeah, but you just said the key thing. People are going to have to think for themselves. That drives me nuts. Some people don't put any thought into the process of what you just said.
Very few people can think for themselves.
Yeah,
I started doing this a few years ago. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, when I was really trying to clean up my form. I started closing my eyes when I would do like some of my warm-up sets to really feel if I was activating or I was trying to activate.
Mm-hmm.
I close my eyes during a lot of my sets. Like, so if I'm on a machine, especially, like just to same thing, like really just to like focus and block out kind of the gym chaos too.
Yeah, you close your eyes, turn up the metal.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, what do we got up next?
All right, next one, we got a question from Tanya. Any thoughts on the interactions between ashwagandha and T3, T4? Recently learned it could interfere, which is unfortunate because I've been using it for years and I'm on thyroid replacement. I think I have heard this as well, Tanya. And my thought with ashwagandha is it is amazing, but it is an adaptogenic herb, and I don't see it as like a long-term use herb, mostly because it can have some gut effect as well. And I think that, some other systemic effects, and like, why are you needing it for really long periods of time? Like, is there something else that we could potentially address with stress management or routine? That's kind of where I go with that ashwagandha. And I do use ashwagandha, especially in prep, especially at night, but I try to cycle through these more adaptogenic herbs, kind of like with nootropics, like, so that I don't become either dependent on it or that it doesn't start to have a more systemic effect than the potential benefit that I'm using it for.
Or
from what I understand, it stimulates TSH, right?
So it'll bring up it'll bring up a lot of people out of like the subclinical hypothyroid levels. So some people that take ashwagandha don't have to be on T3, T4 meds. But if she's doing replacement stuff and her numbers are fine and she feels fine, not having symptoms, then she's probably fine doing both. But if you're worried about it, take it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she says she doesn't want to take it at all, but it's kind of taking away from her T3, which is already not as high as she'd like it to be. Yeah.
Well,
and there are other alternatives too. Like holy basil is a great one to do instead of ashwagandha. There are some other alternative herbs.
What is she using it for is the real question, right?
I mean, most people are going to use it for stress management, especially toward the end of prep. Yeah, and that's what she said. Toward the latter part of blocks, it can help with stress and cortisol production as well. That's what most people are. I mean, on TikTok, people are using it to lower their cortisol, It will do, but yeah, if it's, so she said stuff not making her hypothyroid, but it's a bit higher. Yeah, it's clearly not doing that.
If it's having an impact, we're not able to measure it.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the clinical clinical information. It does seem to improve TSH, T3, and T4 with underactive thyroid glands. Subjects taking ashwagandha showed increased reduction in TSH and T4 increase, which typically improves thyroid production. So there you go. I'd heard briefly about this. I don't usually have my clients use it.
Tanya says it definitely didn't help with that one. Right, with all supplements, your results will vary.
I mean, if you want to turn off your cortisol for a night, it's 300, 600 milligrams of aspirin and go to bed.
Yeah, so it says the overall effect is increased T4, increased T3, lowered TSH. So I was wrong about the TSH.
Yeah, anyway, there's a lot
take
of
that with a grain of salt.
One thing about ashwagandha is it's kind of ever present in a lot of these combined supplements you find out there. So if you're thinking about adding ashwagandha, check the labels on everything you're taking first and make sure you're not already taking it.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, what do we got up
any
next?
of these combination supplements. Yeah, you can be overdosing on a lot of things.
Great job.
All right, sorry.
That's a lot of information. Thank you.
Sorry.
Next, we got from AJ Aesthetics. I've started low-dose telmisartan, but now worried about high potassium risk. Josh has the answer to this. Have removed my hydration supplement, but any advice to avoid any potential issues regarding this? Go, Josh.
Albuterol inhaler pre-daily fasted cardio tends to blow out some potassium for you. Obviously, if you have high potassium, it can kill you. Hallux palpitations, things like that will be the first warning sign. Weakness is usually what happens first. Most people don't get very high because their kidneys work. Generally, I see like a 1 point add to somebody's potassium level. They'll be like at the minimum of the range, and they'll just go to the top of the range. Obviously,
from adding in telmisartan.
Adding telmisartan, it just kind of changes their.
The only time I've ever seen anybody go hyperkalemic on telmisartan, I did have a dude that was just slamming fucking sweet potatoes all day long one time and eating bananas and sweet potatoes. I just have not seen it.
Yeah. I think it'd be very rare for you to have an issue just telmisartan.
I would be a little concerned about it on peak week if you're a bodybuilder with some of the crazy shit we do. Sure. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, your blood pressure is probably normal by that point, right?
I usually have to drop the ARB about halfway through contest prep.
I mean, yeah, because
I usually end up getting hypotension towards the end of prep, even with all the gear.
Oh, yeah.
You could also get a baseline without the telmisartan and check your potassium levels on your blood work, and then see how it's affected when you go on telmisartan. Get a little bit of idea of how it does affect you as well.
I think the risk of hyperkalemia is overstated on it. I think it's pretty small.
Sure.
I mean, it's something that you should be aware of.
Sure,
but
don't take extra potassium supplements. You don't have to probably use your new salt or whatever that's called these days. But yeah. For Mrs. Dash is what I use.
Yeah. I do think people overuse these hydration packets way too much.
I was going to say the same thing, like way too many element packets.
Just eat
you're salting your meals and you're paying attention every day. Right.
Well, especially for non-athletes, like we recently had a patient who started using multiple packets a day right after surgery, thinking it was going to help with recovery. And what did it do? It just bloated them up like crazy because it was way too much. They weren't actually excreting any additional electrolytes and they were just overloading with them. So I agree. I mean, they're meant to be used for people who need them. Right. Yeah.
Very true.
All right. What do we got up next?
Next one is actually a question for me from UC Suma. A question for Amy. I have a friend getting breast augmentation surgery. Haven't you said in the past that you should wait before starting BPC 157? If so, how long? I would say 2 to 4 weeks. My preference is going to be closer to the 4-week mark, just being very conservative on things. Definitely cleared with the surgeon first, but at the minimum, I would wait 2 weeks. You need that pocket to be stable. And part of breast augmentation, is that there is going to be some natural scar tissue formation and a subtle capsule built around the implant. So you kind of want some of those things to happen at a normal pace. So, and that, they're not tested we don't know what effect they would have if you started them like immediately after surgery. So just to be conservative, I would say 2 to 4 weeks would be my sweet spot. Guys, anything to add on that one?
Well, I think Paul kind of theorized before
Yep,
too that if you're using BPC too soon, we might be aiding in producing more scar tissue. Is that
scar tissue? Yeah, that's what my doctor told me. The increased collagen synthesis, and also like people usually pack it with TB500, which is an anti-inflammatory, and the inflammatory process is part of the healing process post surgery. So you should wait 3 to 4 weeks is what my doctor told me. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. And I think specifically with breast aug, like I said, because there is, you do have a bit of capsule formation, but what you don't want to have happen is like aggressive capsule formation. We call that capsular contracture. It's a known side effect of breast augmentation in general. So the things that we do after surgery are things to try to prevent that. Like there are even doctors who have patients start Accolade immediately after surgery to try to blunt that response of the body to kind of have an overproliferation of scar tissue formation. So, that's why I would, especially with anything where you're having something implanted, I would be perhaps even a bit more conservative with some of these things than with non-implantive surgeries.
Good point.
All right. Next one I'm going to skip this one just in case we didn't get to it because this was a specific question for Mike. Question for Mike: thoughts, recommendations on the new gyms in Vegas, Cult Fitness, Crunch Fitness, the new tech gym, etc., without too many youngsters and not go broke for an older gym bro? What would you recommend, Mike? The best of the new gyms.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, you have the standard Dragon's Lair, which has been there for a long time and is an absolutely phenomenal gym. Cult Fitness, I mean, the vibe there is great. The owner's fantastic. He's always bringing in new equipment, lots of high level equipment and Cult Fitness. And I only trained at the New Tech gym one time when I went back for the Olympia, and it was really cool. They had this mix of restored old equipment in there, all the like cool pieces, like the old Nautilus prone leg curl machine, and some really cool stuff like the old Nautilus pullover. And then all of their new stuff, which, it's pretty well engineered, man. I mean, the path of motion on those gyms is fantastic. And so it's really hard to tell, man. If I lived in Vegas, I'd probably have a full time. I would probably have 4 gym memberships. I do what I do here. I go to whatever gym I need to go to train whatever body part I'm training that day on the best equipment.
Mike, what time of day do you work out?
Mornings.
Okay, so are you hitting it but I mean, you have the ability to kind of go when you want to. So do you feel like you're hitting it when the gym is less busy, or like at sort of prime time-ish?
Yeah, if you go too early, it's really busy. If you go a little later, you get to the retirement hour, and those guys are in there to talk and socialize. So that's kind of a distraction. But yeah, it just depends. Right now, I've been doing 2-a-days now for the last 3 weeks, and it's going morning and evening. So we'll see if I can continue that once the January 1st crowd hits the gym. It might be a little too crazy.
There's Cutler's gym too, right? Fit Club.
Yeah, Fit Club's pretty cool. Yeah, I only train at the one downtown. I didn't train at the one that Cutler hangs out at, which is out in what is it, Summerfield? Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say any of those gyms are a little overrated, Mike, that you went to? A little disappointed with it all?
No.
Really?
They look amazing.
They're all that good.
Yeah.
They all look amazing.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I live in a little tiny town, and they just put the for rent signs back up on the building that Justin Shire was supposed to be moving into. So it doesn't look like that's happening anytime real soon. And I know he lost his deal with HD, and they were involved in the new gym too. So I'm stuck basically jumping around between Purple Planet and the YMCA, and I'll drive to Medford sometime to train legs. But pretty soon in Medford, which is about a 40-minute drive from me, Alex, Strongman Alex on Instagram, he's a longtime coach and gym owner, and he's putting one of his gyms, West Coast Barbell, I think they're called, here in Medford. So hopefully we'll get some better equipment, and they'll at least have a posing room.
Oh man, that's one thing. None of the gyms I work at, I have a posing room. Really, it sucks. And one of them is a powerhouse gym, and they don't have a posing room either. It's definitely something that I need to find for my next prep.
We are lucky here in DC, man. I got some great gyms.
You got some great gyms in DC, man. DMV is awesome.
DMV is awesome. The shop's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I pretty much call guys training videos training porn for me because I don't get cool stuff like you guys get. I'm like, oh, it's so cool. What does that do?
See, I've got a functional trainer and a rack in my garage with some free weights. If I needed and a set of adjustable dumbbells that go up to 90 pounds, if I needed to get big and that's all I had access to, I could work hard enough with what I have to get there, you know.
Yeah.
But
I don't think 90s are heavy enough.
yeah, it's a lot.
Not the most fun way to get there.
You make up, yeah, exactly. You make it up with volume, but load is not the only variable.
Yeah.
We could do a whole show.
Right. Oh, easily. Yeah.
Okay. On Gorilla Mind, so whatever. Let's do
it. Frog Blast. Any ideas for a protocol to go nuclear on reducing systemic inflammation? I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, and I need to reduce systemic inflammation by as much as possible. I mean, honestly, number one is going to be cleaning up your diet. Yeah. In my mind, like that is there is no supplement that is going to out supplement a highly inflammatory diet. Like
don't be fat.
Yeah. Sugar, gluten, and alcohol are the probably three most inflammatory things. Not necessarily in that order, but if you cut those three out, I guarantee you your inflammation will go away.
Yeah, dairy. I mean, there could be so many things. You know, making sure that you're getting rid of things that are.
That's probably terrible. Like you got an autoimmune condition. Basically, when you're healthy, you're in trouble because your immune system is going to kick your ass. So if you want to get inflammation out, then we got to figure out your diet. You got to figure out your stress. You got to figure out your sleep. And you got to figure out which condition you have because your doctor's going to have all kinds of different things for you. And then, depending on how bad the autoimmune condition is, you'll end up putting on cortisol pills, and you'll just start looking weird.
Yeah, but really addressing the foundations first is going to be so key, especially if you are dealing with an autoimmune condition, because this is, potentially a lifelong thing. So really figuring out, getting, like even Josh said, your stress, your sleep, those things in order are only going to help. And then anything else you add in, I mean, could potentially a GLP-1 help? Maybe, but I wouldn't patch it with that. I would really get everything else in line first, because anything else you do on top of that is just going to be additive. It's not going to be transformative. Because if you haven't made the baseline changes first, you're just patching it. And especially with an autoimmune condition, you're going to feel like you're chasing it anyway. So the less you chase it, the better.
That's great advice.
I'm not a doctor, but I do know that there's a big difference between like rheumatoid arthritis and Hashimoto's, but they're both an autoimmune condition. So there's probably
or Crohn's. Yeah,
very good point.
It's probably diagnosis dependent too.
Yeah, sometimes dropping systemic inflammation, best thing is, like you say, good sleep and stress low.
Sauna, dry brushing, lymphatic massage. Like there's so many things that are not medications.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I
thought the answer was trend, but
I mean, depends on the autoimmune condition.
Immune system's butt, you know what I'm saying?
Paul's getting back to his roots.
I mean, if we can try it.
Well, even Josh, you said, we were talking the other day, and I suggested just a little extra rest and just taking, a little extra food and just lowering the stress quality. And
I've dropped 18 pounds on my bulk. Like, great. I'm 213 today. I'm like, oh crap, come on.
Excellent.
Not going well. Me bulking.
You've come a long way, Josh.
Yeah, I know. But
man.
I got more work to do, which is cool. I do like side quests in the gym. Like my new side quest is to get to 125s on like incline dumbbells. I started like a month ago. I started with 80s, and now I'm at like 95. So I'm just kind of like, this will be fun.
Yeah.
Don't let your quest ruin your joints.
Yeah. Exactly.
I use joints before the workout.
Oh boy. Clever.
This one isn't a question, but it's just a shout out to Jackie that I had to throw up here. Just finished catching up on one of Jackie's vlogs on your channel, Dave. More Jackie. I agree. Need more Jackie. When is she starting prep?
I would have had her tell you she just left the office, but she's I think it'll be right in the beginning of January, or maybe the first week of January. Yeah, her birthday.
So she'll be on prep at the Arnold.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately,
just saw her last week. She's Jackie's off season looks like most people's contest prep lean.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's always lean.
Hun, when do you start prep?
First week of January.
Yeah, first weekend of January.
Her last
Yeah.
cheat meal is January 2nd.
She's already got her last cheat meal planned out.
That's like 3 weeks.
Hang
Oh
on,
my
tell me the
gosh,
cheat
that's
meal. I
so
might want it.
exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, New York
Yeah, see,
Pro is
there you
going to
go.
be her first show. So that's well, that's where she went pro at the Universe where they do the New York Pro. So we were kind of comfortable with the whole venue, the whole setup, and she's going to go through that one. Yeah.
Awesome. That is
So
so
she'll-
exciting.
She'll
A friend of
probably
mine
be
did.
ready in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yay. Tanya's starting prep too. She had her last free meal last night, so she's in prep too now.
Good. Well, we'll document some of her first pro prep for you guys, and I know that'll be fun.
I'd like to know what
That's
show
so
Tanya's going to do.
exciting.
What's that?
I'd like to know
Tanya,
what Tanya's doing. Put it in the chat.
Yep, we want to know what you're doing.
Yeah, we definitely want to know about your last great meal or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I skipped over this one, Zionic. I'm sorry. You put it up again, so I will answer it. The English toffee stevia is incredible. I actually don't use it in hot stuff as much. I get the now better stevia maple for my cream of rice and my oats, but I mean, it's like 2 drops. It like a little goes a long way. And yes, it can, the medicinal flavor can come through, especially in a hot preparation. The English toffee I usually put in ice water with a little bit of lemon, and it's so good. But get the maple for your oats and cream of rice, and it is like life-changing. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, those things work great. I grind my own cream of rice, like my own plain cream of rice. I have a grain mill, and those little packets, like the stevia packets and the little drops, they work pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
you don't
goes
have
a
to
long
load
way.
it. Yeah, I was going to say, you don't feel like you have to put 50 packets or half a bottle of anything to flavor it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Tanya, she told us what her last cheat meal was. She went to Mellow Mushroom, split a pizza with her mom, three pieces for me, and 60% of the pizza taken home by her. Spinach artichoke dip appetizer, and a giant peanut butter chocolate chip cookie for dessert.
Yeah.
She went out late.
Is here, man. I feel bad for Georgia.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
Coach Paul finally made me eat off plan when I was down in DC. It was nice.
Take you
Oh,
to some of my
good.
favorite restaurants.
Oh,
Eating off plan is my business right now.
I think all of my any food I've had off plan has been food that Paul paid for.
That's
Like,
pretty
I was
sad,
thinking about
Amy.
the other
We need to work on that.
Yeah, like I've had
You can buy her some
nothing.
McDonald's, Paul.
No.
Do a Jay Cutler, feed her
No,
French
Paul
fries.
knows I like better food than that.
Amy, do you ever do any like constructive cheat meals? Like I have ones that I'm like really enjoying myself once in a while, and then I have ones where, like, if I'm not hungry, I'll actually pull a cheat meal, and it's like constructive, like
Oh.
a bunch of sushi, so I can get the carbs. I'm not feeling like eating at the end of the night. Do you ever do that, or is your cheat meal just like enjoy whatever?
I honestly have not had a cheat meal in like I
Really?
haven't. It's not been something that my coach has, because I have a meal plan. So my
Mhm.
coach has not planned it. Yeah. He does, like, he did a couple of structured refeeds earlier on in my prep, but that's what they
Mhm.
were like. He would say, eat exactly this amount of rice and this amount of this. Yeah. But I've not had an off plan meal. I've thought about asking for one, because it would be kind of nice to just, like take my staff out for Christmas or something and just eat
Yeah.
off plan or go on a date.
I build in cheat meals with all my clients, at least 1 or 2 a week. I have not found that it has any negative impact on things at all.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I added 500 to 800 calories a day, and I've lost 17 pounds.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, your metabolism's probably just
If anything,
spinning up
it's gonna
now.
make your. I think if you're worried about weight gain and stuff, like, trust me, it'll probably just relax the hell out of you, right?
Oh, I'm not worried about weight gain. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I follow what my coach plans for me. So it's that. I mean, I'm not worried about gaining weight. Trust me, I'm eating like 90 grams of cream of rice in my first meal of the day. So I'm eating plenty. It's just exactly what I'm supposed to. It's just not a cheat meal.
We're gonna have
No,
to
that's
work
Or
on
not a plan
Tommy.
meal.
Those more
Well,
productive
well,
cheat meals, though, can be pretty satisfying, and then you don't have to feel too bad about them. I learned from Paul the whole wheat spaghetti at 96% lean ground beef, and Make your burger at home with 96% and low fat cheese, and it's just
just get some plain sushi rolls or something, or some kebabs or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, chicken on a stick.
Halal.
I love halal. I get halal all the time.
Halal.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, what do we got up next? Let me get one or two more in.
Okay, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. Yep, thinking of running 600 test,
83.
300 deca, 83. Yes, something to fund 83. 600 tests, 300 deca, 300 EQ a week. Does the ratio matter? I heard for deca and EQ need to run at least 600 milligrams of tests to get results.
I don't know if that's true.
Steroids are effective at every dose.
Yeah,
every dose.
I mean, it would depend on what level you're at, how advanced you are. I'd probably run the deca a little lower. There really is no like set prescribed ratio. I mean, you have to see how your body responds, but deca tends to upregulate aromatase expression. You're going to have more estrogen conversion with deca in play, but EQ also slams it. So like the old school bros, I mean, back in the day, take this for what it's worth, but like the early 2000 cycles that seemed to work really well. It was EQ at half the dose of the test, and then deca at half that. So it would be something like 600 tests, 300 deca, 100 or 300 EQ, 150 deca.
Yeah.
But I would let your response see where your estradiol is at, and you can kind of tweak and adjust things based on that. But no, there's no minimum effective. I mean, I'm just running 300 tests, 150 primo right now, and I'm putting size back on.
Yeah, so you can get a result at a third of that. But I'd also, like
more works. I don't want to mislead you.
Sure.
More works.
More works.
Sure. I would be curious to find out what's your individual response, when it comes to how much the EQ crushes your estrogen or lowers your estrogen first, and figure that out, and then slowly add the deca in. But yeah, there's no set. We've all found out, like my ratio of EQ to testosterone is different than Paul's, or different from my clients or whatnot.
I will
know that for sure.
I will tell you this though: most people cannot get away with running the EQ more than half of their test dose without smashing their estrogen.
I just went through it. Yeah, I just went through it, and you got to find that sweet spot. And what sucks is the first cycle of EQ you go on, you're going to go through a couple weeks of misery finding out what that sweet spot is. If you want to push it to the top of the effective range for EQ and then still not totally crush your estrogen.
I mean, there is some evidence that EQ is directly nephrotoxic. So you just have to keep that in mind, that it can skew kidney markers. Although on the study that you look at, it was done on rabbits. I don't know how well that translates to our cohort, but then most of it seemed to be reversed when the study group came off of it. But that's another thing to keep in mind. I wouldn't get too aggressive with EQ. Just my 2 cents.
Testing the eyes, proven combination.
I mean, Steve was talking about that the other day. This said the best cycle we ever did was high dose test with Arimidex and GH.
I mean, the AIs have their own risks, but
right.
Yeah, they're easier to adjust than EQ though. Once EQ is on board, it's hard to, if you smash it, you're smashed for a while.
Yeah. Well, you just said it too, because I can run more than half. I tend to run more than half of my test of my EQ as my testosterone. So like I'm doing right now 6 and 450, and that's perfect for me. So it shows everybody's a little different for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might do this 300 and it might totally crash his estrogen and not work for him.
Yeah. So learn that, because you don't want to be miserable for a few weeks chasing around.
Have to chase on like.
What's that?
We lost Josh.
We lost Josh.
Oh, we lost Josh. All right.
Yeah. There he is. He's back.
Am I back?
Yeah,
You're back.
What were we saying? Something about Chase.
Oh, Chase. Well, he was on like 10 grams of test a week, and he was on like 500 EQ, and he had 14 or something. So like,
yeah, he said it completely smashed him.
Mm-hmm.
But according to certain people out there on social media, EQ does not lower your estrogen.
Well, they're stupid.
I got the blood.
You know what? Hang on. To be fair, you turn instead of estradiol, you probably turn to estrone. So technically, your estrogen is not lowered.
Potentially, yep.
But you're still an asshole.
All right, we got 2 questions for my Zachariah. This one asked if anyone's going to the Arnold. Love to meet you all. I think we all are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, we're all going to be there. Say hi.
Yep.
I'm not going to have a booth this year, though. I can't. That was just too much for me.
You're going to have a bouncer. His name is Joshua.
My social meter was on 0 about an hour after being at the booth.
That was a lot. His follow-up question was, do you guys think a first-time competitor should hire an in-person or online coach, or does it matter for their first show? I would actually preference toward online versus in-person. I think if you're limiting yourself to who's available in person, that shouldn't matter at all. You should pick the best coach for you.
And yes,
you're probably going to be online.
The only compelling reason for an in-person, and I have guys that use both. I don't really do training as far as programming and stuff. Sometimes that's really, and I used to do in gym training. I did it for like 5-6 years. It's hard to program when you're online. So if you need help with your actual training programming, and in the gym, but I would look at somebody separate. Like I have like my guys that are here locally. I have a guy I hook them up with that I know that's really good. Works with some pros that does some really good in the gym programming. I think posing, a lot of times you need somebody in person for posing. There are some good online posing coaches, some really high quality ones, but posing, I think, especially if you're a newbie, you might want to see somebody. But as far as contest prep, I would just get the best contest prep coach that fits your personality and budget.
Yeah, I think the one benefit I see to in-person posing is is to kind of get the nerves out of posing around other people.
Yeah.
That to me is really the big thing, and kind of understanding how a show might run, because usually if you're in like a group posing session, they'll kind of run you through like standing in the line for longer and like doing some of those things for like longer amounts of time, like more like it would be at an actual show. That's the one benefit I see of like in-person posing.
I've been doing a lot of impromptu posing coaching at the gym lately for free.
Oh, I start charging for that, Paul.
I don't want to be a posing coach.
Yeah,
I'm a mediocre poser.
You just don't want to get paid to be a posing coach.
Usually, if you're getting ready for an NPC show, a lot of times the NPC will have coaching posing clinics at the gyms. Yeah. That's a good place to go and maybe even meet a potential posing coach. You get a first session in, and then find somebody from there.
I do like helping people out. If I'm there and there are guys in the posing room, they want help, I don't mind walking them through some basics. But I'm an average poser, I would say. Good enough to get my pro card, but there are people way better than me.
Well, those who can't do teach, right? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, that's what they say. All right, one more and we'll wrap up.
Oh, one more. The pressure. Okay, we'll do an easy drug question. We'll do this one from Shoko. And Shoko had a couple other questions. Shoko, look up the Matador study for your question about cyclical dieting. It'll kind of give you the idea on that one. Best way to prevent gyno when running Deca NPP and or Anadrol and D-ball with test, not all at the same time.
Don't take them. If something causes you to get gyno, don't take it.
Surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, get gyno surgery.
Deca and D-ball is like just asking for gyno.
Yeah, Deca and D-ball. I'll say this: Deca and D-balls. People hear the stories of the old days of bodybuilding. I don't know of anybody at the professional level that does that anymore. I just don't hear of it. Maybe there are. I really don't hear about people running Deca and D-ball together. D-ball. If you're prone to gyno, D-ball is like the flamethrower for gyno, and if you couple it with Deca, where you have methyl estradiol on deck and a synthetic progestin, and those two it's like pushing the turbo button for getting gyno. I would say if you are concerned about gyno, just go get fucking gyno surgery done. Get it done. I would avoid compounds that flare up gyno. Know that for you. And if you get yourself in a pinch where you do have a flare up, get off of whatever you're on. Tamoxifen is usually the quickest fix. But you also want to be very cautious with tamoxifen. You don't want to be running tamoxifen. God damn, it used to be back in no wonder guys were dying for fucking blood clots back in the early 2000s, but tamoxifen puts you at high risk of blood clots. So I would never run tamoxifen more than a short couple weeks stint with in a gyno situation. But I would just avoid the compounds that cause the gyno to begin with. Get gyno surgery if it is a concern or a problem. D-ball and DECA, that combination is just, if you're predisposed to gyno, you're just guaranteeing yourself to get gyno.
And if you talk to some of the old bodybuilders from the DECA D-ball days, probably most of them have had gyno surgery at some point.
Like Mike's muted.
No, I hear him.
I'm hearing him. I hear him. Yeah. Can you hear any of us, Dave?
I don't think Dave hears any of us.
I think Dave can't hear us.
I can hear him now.
Dave, you have a great butt.
I can hear.
Yeah,
him.
a lot of those guys
had
gyno surgery, and it's also the survivorship bias. Like people are like, "Well, I don't ran DECA and D-ball," and I'm like, "Well, Arnold probably genetically wasn't predisposed to getting fucking gyno. You don't see the 50 other bros that ended up wrecking themselves and having growing boobies."
I mean, Arnold did have gyno in his older age, but
Yeah, but that was more like age-related fat deposition. It wasn't like
it wasn't during his training career.
Yeah, it doesn't look like breast tissue.
And it's just like sweet for them,
These days,
Also,
if you can graduate middle school without gyno.
yeah, with all the phytoestrogens and shit that are in our diets.
Yeah.
I would say anybody that's over, most guys with higher body fat, if you're over 12, 15% body fat, there's a high probability you're going to get gyno if you run certain things. I'm just, it's just what I've seen. It seems like fatter dudes have more problems with estrogen and gyno conversion. It's what I've seen. So yeah, my story would be avoid the shit that causes gyno. If you are predisposed to gyno or you already have pre-existing gyno, go get gyno surgery, save up your money. You'll thank me later. Make sure you get a good surgeon. I fucked up and did that. Went for the cheap guy that my insurance would cover. Went to a general surgeon who just did a butcher job on me. And now I live with that for the rest of my life. I need to go get my right pec cleaned up at some point. I had my left one. I ended up with a collapsed nipple and all sorts of deformities and shit people love to point out.
Yep. Once you start prepping again, you're posting pictures. Everybody's gonna be commenting on your little winky.
What happened to your nipple, dog?
You got a winky.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I posted just a little update picture the last week. I'm just kind of where I'm at right now, coming back from my surgery. I had so many crap I must have blocked 12 people. The guy on my DM's like, "Bro, do you ever work your traps? You have no trap development." I'm like, and I looked at his pictures and I'm like, this dumb motherfucker looks like he's never even lifted a weight in his life. I'm like, you do know I'm coming off a shoulder surgery. I haven't trained my upper body in 7 months. There might be a little atrophy in my upper body. He's like, "Don't be so sensitive." I'm like, "Fuck you, dude." Blah, blah. I'm like, it's like bros getting on the fucking basketball court and telling Michael Jordan his jump shots off.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think you need to get a little more wrist action in that free throw shot. I'm like, come on, dude.
Do you even lead, bro?
I just block fucking people now. If you want to be a dick in the comment section, you're blocked. I've just started. I actually had this one dude was DMing me. He's like, "All right, I see how it is. You're all." What I did is he commented about my traps and my shoulders being underdeveloped, and I said in the comment section, I'm like, I am no longer currently. I am currently not accepting critique from people with worse physiques than me. Sorry, closed for business in that department. If you look worse than me, I'm not accepting critique. And he started DMing me. He's like, "Oh, you're a fucking asshole." He's like, "I'm just trying to help you out." And he's like, "I see how it is now." He's like, I'll see you at the Arnold." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, bring it on, motherfucker."
And
you
you know,
wouldn't
the
say
bodybuilding
you wouldn't say
community is,
shit in person.
the bodybuilding community is relatively like positive and reinforcing. Like you go into other online communities, just car communities or motorcycles or anything else that I'm into, you start talking to people on some of these car sites, and it's like, I'm like, it's no wonder I never go on these things, man. Everybody on here is an asshole and trying to prove that they know something, and it's just ridiculous.
Well, you know who's not in my comments section telling me my nipple looks weird and my traps need to come up?
Other
Other IFBB pros.
Yeah, other IFBB pros, Hani Rambod,
Mhm.
you know, other guys that are doing this at a high level. No, they're not. It's you know, whatever dude with an anime profile pic from Iowa who's never competed a day in his life.
First of all, anime is awesome. It's probably second to Jesus. Remember all those 80s action movies that were awesome? Well, all the Japanese kids watched them and they just made more awesome stuff like Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, and it goes deeper and deeper.
I just laughed my ass off because this dude actually had the balls to have actual pictures up on his profile, and I was just like, "Are you fucking serious? You're throwing shade at me? Get the fuck out of here, man! Seriously."
You should have tried higher. Hey, look, I'm only $400 a month. I can make you look better.
You know the thing I do love about jiu-jitsu is every once in a while you'll get a delusional guy that shows up to jiu-jitsu class and thinks that because he watched, you know, took a couple kung fu classes or he was a badass in high school, thinks he can take on an MMA fighter, and they'll honor them with a little time on the mat or in the ring, and you know, get your ass fucking handed to you. I wish there was a bodybuilding equivalent of that. I'm like, let's step on stage together and see what you look like next to me.
I think there is
interest online for everybody to critique you.
Yeah, how about some trophies and some pro cards? There you go.
Yeah, sorry for the rant. It never fails whenever that's why I don't really post pics anymore. When I was on contest prep, winning my fucking pro card, it was brutal. People in my DMs tell me I look like shit, and why are you doing this? You're killing yourself. You look terrible. You need to bring out this body part or that body part. Yeah, it was. It's hilarious, man. What the fuck?
They're just jealous. They just upset.
Well,
you
I'm just like,
I'm like,
to me, it's like, who wakes up in the morning and says to themselves, "You got to be in a seriously bad mental state."
Are you sensitive about your shoulder and trap development? I mean, he nailed you.
He got me there. I'm just laughing. They're like, who the fuck wakes up in the morning and looks in the mirror and says, "Yeah, I should go tell that guy that he needs to work on a few things."
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting though how people feel like it's okay to comment on someone else's body in any form or shape. I find it interesting. And I mean, it's like when we'll always get one, like when I get deep into prep, someone comments in the comment section on one of these videos that I look like a dead skeleton. And I'm like, yes, like I'm getting there.
Well, as bodybuilders, we have to put up with it a little bit more than the next person, but you don't have to be rude about everything. You know, people don't have to be ridiculous. I mean,
compliment Dave for his butt. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave's butt is amazing. And he doesn't even have to train.
Dave does have some superior glute development. You should go into the wellness division.
You can only praise fruit so much before it gets weird, though.
Huh?
I mean, it's the same mentality as the fat guy that's sitting on his couch, drinking his beer and saying Patrick Mahomes is a bum. You know, this fucking bum can't. You know,
plays football.
And I'm like, dude, those dudes would fucking roll you over.
Yeah,
you know, I could do a better job than that. It's funny how delusional. Or what is it? They say 1 out of 10 men think they could beat a grizzly bear in a fight. Something like that.
Seriously, 1 out of 10 think that they could beat a grizzly bear. If they see a grizzly bear.
One man has beaten a grizzly bear with his bare hands in the history of the United States of America. Okay, and he's got a fucking plaque.
Who was that? Chuck Norris?
I got to look this one up.
No, it's a real person. I have no idea what his name is.
I know.
Tanya says, "Smoking."
I think it was a tie, but you know that's still a win.
What was that?
It was the study found that about 7% of American men believe they could win an unarmed fight against a grizzly bear.
Oh my God.
I think people mistake a bear for a grizzly bear because there is a difference between like a black bear or a little brown bear and a grizzly bear. Like there's
Yeah.
a big
Even a fucking brown bear, man.
Humans
Like
don't
what?
eat ants.
Some mama bear you gotta watch out for.
If I were going to take the over under on that fight, I'm going with the bear.
Yeah.
100 times out of 100 I'm going with the bear.
Over a grown man. You kidding?
Yeah.
If he wakes up, you're dead.
We have black bear where I live, so if I was to run around scared of them all the time, I probably wouldn't leave the house.
Oh yeah, but you wouldn't like
Yeah,
actively be the aggressor toward it either. That's the difference.
Didn't that used to be like a circus?
Well, with a black bear, you are supposed to look big and scary, so they think you're like not worth fighting. With a grizzly bear, if you do that, he's like, "Oh, you want some, bro? Come on."
Yeah.
Well, that should give you the insight on the mentality. You know, so there's about 6% of, you know, if that is true, about 6% of the men that are in the audience that think they could get on stage and beat an IFBB pro with just a steroid cycle and a diet.
That's right. It's just the drugs.
Or they could throw a out pattern better than Patrick Mahomes could.
Mhm.
You know,
No.
So
Point shot.
that is or you know, step in a UFC ring and beat a UFC fighter.
Right after they hit a home run and run the fastest marathon.
Yeah.
Tanya said it best in the chat. She said, "Smoke never comes from above."
Very good.
Nope. It never does. I don't know. I'm sorry for the rant, guys. It just how delusional people are. Just it cracks me up. It's I don't really get pissed about it. It's just perplexing to me.
Yeah. Flabbergasting, you would say.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? You've never been punched in the mouth before,
right?
You know.
Well, and how do you feel walking away from saying that? You know, that's what I always think when I read mean comments on my social media. I'm always like, do you feel better? Like, did that get it out of you? Like, do you feel like you really got me? Like,
I hope it makes it feel better.
Yeah.
I really
yeah. It's just weak people. They need some sort of victory. I'm sure they're probably not winning in their everyday life, and so they get these little cheap shots in online that make them feel better about themselves.
What do they call those beta cuck males?
I think back in 1990 we just called them pussies.
Yeah. He wants to tear you down about your nipples, but he really just wants to see you fuck his girlfriend.
I think that's what we called them back in the day. There's some other words I can think of, but
we gotta be.
We'll get back to you. I think it's okay to say the P word on YouTube now. I don't know. I can't tell. I think after the first 20 minutes or some shit, YouTube has some really weird ass rules. Like you're not allowed to say this and that word in the first 5 minutes, but after that, free at it.
Yeah, after that, F-bomb away, baby.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really fucking interesting. Sorry for the rant. It made me laugh though. Fucking people, man. Delusional ass bros, man. Just cracks me up. This shit that people would never say in person. I've never once had a guy walk up to me in the gym and say, "Hey, bro, you know, you might want to work on the traps a little bit more."
Instagram, and you were like incline pressing 245 on a Smith. I was like, that seems like a lot of weight for most people. Is that not a lot of weight?
Oh yeah, there was some critics in there on that one too, and I'm like, dude, I haven't fucking done a bench press in I literally, it's the first time since my surgery that I've put any weight on the bar at all. Zero.
245, right? That's not small.
Yeah, I worked up to 245.
Yeah, that's good.
It felt like 315 used to, but my range of motion isn't great. I'm getting over a fucking shoulder surgery. No shit, motherfucker. Anyway, people crack me up. All right, let's wrap this up. Enough of the rant. I gotta head to another holiday party. It's been a weekend full of weddings and holiday parties. We appreciate each and every one of you, even the guys that say my traps and my nipple look weird. I still love you too. As long as you're respectful about saying my traps look like shit, I don't care. But if you want to be a dick, I'm going to block you. I have a hug for you too. It's at the Arnold. If you really need a hug that bad, I can give you a hug. I love you too, even if you're a jerk. We'll see you guys on the next episode.